Hey everybody, it's your old buddy Diabetus, welcoming you to episode 3 of Retsutalk. A couple of house cleaning things I wanted to go over before we get into it. First of all, a big thank you to our pal Mr. Swoon, who's allowed us to use his web hosting to distribute this podcast to literally the 3 to 5s of you who stream or download or otherwise listen to this. So major thanks for Mr. Swoon, keeping us from having to pay for our own hosting and letting us leech off of him. So, major props, sir. Also, thank you to the number of you who have submitted theme songs to us. Apparently, podcasts do theme songs, and some of you have sent in some really good ones, so really appreciate that. Encourage you to submit more. You can tweet them my way. If I like them, I'll use them. So, The Beef is out on assignment this week, and in lieu of him being around, since he is on vacation, being a stereotype down at the Jersey Shore, I felt like doing a podcast with fellow sidekick, General Ironicus, friend of the show. So we had a lovely conversation talking about things from D&D to really exciting topics like the weather. It's an enthralling conversation. Can't wait to show you. You may hear some intermittent clicking and typing. I was able to do some deletion around that, but Ironicus was doing a lot of web surfing during this episode, so you can blame him for that. Shame on you. Wag my finger in your general direction. But enough listening to me. Let's move on and listen to me, and General Ironicus, in episode 3 of Retsutalk. Enjoy, if that's your thing. Are you comfortable?
I am.
I like to record all these as if we're in an actual studio and not as if we're hundreds of miles apart.
Yeah, the green room was really well appointed.
Yeah? Did the servants cater to your every need?
They made sure there were no cucumbers on the vegetable tray, and after that, I was really easy to get along with.
Yeah, you're like Van Halen style, those podcast contracts. Gotta make sure we read them, and we did.
Van Halen hates cucumbers, let me tell you right now.
Exactly. All for the fair price of $0, which I'll be sending to you momentarily.
Yeah, no PayPal, just donate it to a charity in my name.
I'm the worst host because people are realizing that you sound nothing like Slow Beef right now.
No!
What's wrong with Slowbeef's voice?
Why is Proteus there? Go.
Yeah, it's what I imagine all of our fans sound like.
Why did Slowbeef?
I have the worst opinion of people who watch or listen to this. The dozen upon dozen of people.
Half of dozens upon 2. Yeah.
I've seen the stats. So for those of you who don't know, who are still listening for some reason, this is the voice of General Ironicus.
Hello.
Friend of the show, General Ironicus.
The show exists so much it has friends already.
Am I being too presumptuous by calling you a
No,
friend of the show? It's only like 90 seconds in.
I watched the first one. Well,
Ironicus.
I watched the waveform. I haven't seen the second, but I assume this is the part where we talk about Prometheus.
The second episode is a spoiler-free episode.
Okay.
We use Breaking Bad in a comparative sense, but we don't actually talk about the shows substantively at all.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
So that's a little carrot to dangle in front of you.
Is that just so people have to learn how to cook like drugs on their own, and you don't want to be held liable, or was it really just for the spoiler thing?
I actually have been studying to make my own insulin, and Breaking Bad has been an excellent source for that.
So in order to cook your own insulin, you need to melt someone's face off.
That's my understanding.
Okay. We had some stuff to talk about.
Oh yeah, we had a loose agenda. There's a fair amount of crossover for people who watch our stuff and people who watch your stuff.
Yeah, like...
I say that so patronizingly. Your stuff.
I haven't seen the charts, but I assume they exist.
The other RP stuff.
They'd be very enlightening if I ever did find them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, General Ironicus and his good buddy ChipCheezum?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Cheezam?
Chizarino, as I call him.
Chizarino, the Chiz. Irony and the Chiz. The Chiz. You also do RP stuff.
Yes, we started as like an LP duo, I think my first year of college. He was still in high school. And then the second retsupurae thread went up on the forums, and there's like a call for other contributors, so we jumped on that, and I guess became like the sidekicks.
That's a horrible idea.
The hangers-on in all ways. Like,
the only ones who have still survived to this very day.
They're doing flash animations. You got to do flash animations. Whoa! I'm sure someone's just like on our page, really upset that we haven't done long plays yet.
Do you have any access to the YouTube channel, or do you do even less than I do?
I had at one time. I've done editing on a few. Like there's a few I did solo. There's one where there's this really annoying, like, meme-filled subtitle LP, and I just did a reading of it. I did that all on my own. That's probably why it's one of our least popular. But yeah, I don't even, like, know the passwords. I just talk. Mm-hmm. So I'm in my wheelhouse right now. You got me in my best.
Nice, bro. You provide a lot of rich commentary, though. You're a well-read individual.
I read occasionally. Everybody's just gonna flip their lids once they find out that it's mostly Wikipedia, just like word for word. Come on.
No. But you are a lover of the humanities, are you not? Particularly the sociology nature.
Yeah, those sort of humanities.
And
like
where did that get you?
Maxim humanities, human
Oh, I thought you were. I said, where did that get you? And you said Maxim. I was like, whoa, what?
Hell yeah.
Man, I should have studied sociology.
For the newsstand price of $3.99, that's what you use for meals when you're a humanities major.
All I can get is on GQ, so...
What? Wait, no, you guys got in, what, PC something?
Oh, yeah,
right?
Yeah, we got... Actually, this happened twice.
Was it PC Gamer, or was it, like, PC World? It was PC...
we got mentioned in PC Gamer twice. Once was a while back, which was like a little blurb, like like an appendix of sorts. Like, hey, by the way, people talk about YouTube game videos.
So the most useless part of the magazine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nobody knows what that's doing there.
I discovered it at the bottom of my cat's litter box one day, and it's like, oh, PC Gamer. And then the other mention was someone wrote an article about it was about like Streets of Rage kind of side-scrolly game thing, and the protagonist kind of sort of looks like a Mike Dawson-esque character. So he was like, the guy who wrote it was like, where have I seen that guy before? And then he gives a little blurb about Mike Dawson and then links to our Darkseid 2 video.
Oh, that's cool.
Odd. It was pretty cool.
Those
though,
were great. I loved watching those.
Yeah, the guy who wrote it actually tweeted us the article, and I can't remember his name right now, but if you're listening to this, thumbs up.
Well, I just got to get like all my fans who work in Newsweek to...
Yeah. His name is John PC Gamer. Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I'm related. Hey.
Yeah, hey. So, in addition to the RP stuff, you are also becoming an avid gamer, are you not?
Yeah, I discovered video games about a week ago. And
so you're doing some catching up.
Yeah, actually, as happens with Let's Plays, you have...
Before we started recording this, you were actually like, hey, have you heard of Steam?
You have
it's this new thing.
Catastrophic computer failure just follows you. I think it's some sort of like ghost DRM. Like if you try to record video games, your computer will die. It's just the way the world works.
That's 100% accurate.
So it did, and luckily I got a free replacement from like my warranty, and so I finally have a computer that's modern and like current and not embarrassing to be seen with in public, because I carry my computer around in public. Don't.
Okay. That noise in the background is you trying to knock on a piece of wood, right?
Yeah, it's for luck.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, I decided, hey, I also got a new job at the same time, so I'm like, new computer, new income, I might as well finally start PC gaming. So I got Steam and got the latest bundle, and somebody gifted me Portal 2, so thanks to someone who's probably listening to this, and I can't remember their name, I'm sorry.
It was also John PC Gamer. I looked it up just now. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
bud.
So yeah, I've just been actually getting into games on my YouTube box. That's essentially what a computer is. Don't lie.
So did you play games a lot growing up,
I-
and then you kind of had a big gap before?
Well, no, I've always been a console gamer, yeah, but I've just finally got into PC stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, when I was a kid, I got my tonsils taken out, as kids do, because...
And that turned you off to gaming forever. Yeah.
Well, I had to shut up for a few weeks, so my dad got me an NES with Super Mario Brothers 3, and that did it. And I've been antisocial ever since, so and now you know the rest of the story.
Yeah, actually, I had a mole on my foot that had to get removed at a time when I was growing up, and
So you never played sports again.
I never won the Super Bowl. I had to get
The
surgery
only
to remove
football
it.
you could play is Madden.
I never got into Madden. Maybe I should. But I was bedridden or immobile for quite a while, and so my parents, being the sympathetic individuals that they were, got me the Super Nintendo Battletoads game. And I was like, really, Mom and Dad? Do you hate your son that much? And they said yes. And so that was kind of how I got into like hard games, because I didn't have anything better to do at the time except play that one game. That one game that you can beat in probably half an hour if you're decent at it. And, after a few weeks with a bandaged foot, I did. And I was never the same ever since.
My whole life I've had a hard time with like people trying to gift you video games because, they're old people giving you gifts as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I had about 5 copies of Super Mario Brothers 3. I had Fester's Quest. I had Superman 64. I had them all.
What?
Yes.
Did you grow up in the ghetto?
The metaphorical ghetto of bad programming. Yes, I did.
I like to think there's a ghetto section of any video game rental store where they have those sorts of games.
Yeah,
There's like one thing you can check out that's literally 3 copies of Mario Brothers 3 in one box.
That would be like the heaven of video games. Like if you ever wear out one copy of the greatest games ever, you have 2 more. I don't know what that has to do with Superman 64. I don't know.
But did you ever get into emulation though to relive those old games?
No, because reliving the old games isn't actually about the game so much as it is the little square controller that like cuts grooves into the pad of your thumb, and just like sitting on that old carpet in Flint. And I'm in Chicago now. Why would I want to? I have hardwood. Okay, all right. I don't want to go
Flint?
back. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. How's that?
Your reaction is appropriate. That's how it was.
I mean, Flint is like the butthole of Detroit, right?
It's nowhere near Detroit, so yes.
Oh, it's not near Detroit?
No, well, in as much as it's closer than I am now. It's closer to Detroit than you are. But
It's within the sphere of influence of Detroit that makes everything shit, though. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, Canada. We're just trying to shove it your way, but you aren't taking it. God.
How's life in Chicago? 3rd biggest city in the U.S., right?
Last I heard, it might be 4th now. Texas is getting huge, but
The city of Texas?
many cities within
Texas is one of the larger metro areas in the United States.
Well, everything's bigger in Texas, including the city boundaries.
Including their understanding of city sizes, yes.
That's how they cheat.
Oh.
But yeah, it's great. I know you visited for like business and threatened to have the two of us like hook up and I'd tour guide you around. Mm-hmm. Next time that happens, that has to actually happen. I will
Absolutely.
I will show you all of the restaurants that will kill you. Mm-hmm. There's this place called Cheesy's.
Jesus.
I felt disgusting.
They just cook cheese in various ways for you?
They make grilled cheese sandwiches. One of them, like giant thick grilled cheese sandwich with like chorizo, French fries in the sandwich, blue cheese dressing. I think that was it. That one might have also had onion straws in it.
I need a defibrillator just hearing that.
I know, but it's so good.
Damn. And Chicago's not one of the fattest cities in the country, right?
No.
It's kind of, despite all, yeah. Pretty much everywhere in the South will be one of the most obese places in the world.
It's because we got like all the parks for running in and all of the just there's enough like influence from the coast to make you feel bad for being fat, so you can only go to Cheezy's like annually.
Isn't Chicago cold as balls like 7-8 months out of the year?
Not this past week. We've been like setting records along with the rest of the country. But yeah, there's the blizzards. We have, we try to go for the high score for most homeless people frozen. Hit it.
Strap in, kids. It's weather chat in this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
If you weren't enthralled now, you're going to be stuck listening forever.
Episode 4, watching paint dry. Is that grass growing? I bet it is.
Woo! But yeah, it's been pretty hot here, too. It always is in the South. Mildest winters you'll ever see. It's heaven during the November through, March months. But, like right now, you step outside, you literally feel the air stick to your skin.
Well,
That's how humid it is down here.
That sounds like a +2 AC bonus, if you ask me. But
I would prefer a dry heat myself.
-1 to reflex. Anyhow.
Man, weather wasn't even on the agenda for today. Get back in line.
I'm trying to segue. You won't let me.
All right, go ahead.
But yeah, not every Let's Play, getting informative for the folks at home, not every Let's Play has to be of a video game. I've been breaking new ground.
You, in fact, have your own podcast.
Of sorts, yeah. It started as a Let's Play of Dungeons & Dragons, but now we sort of promote it as a video and audio podcast, because that's essentially what it is. I mean, actual plays is a scene that pre-existed ours, just not necessarily for our audience.
Now, you say audio and video,
Yes.
but you're all of you playing the game are, like you and I right now, in disparate areas, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how does the video part work?
Well, there are a number of online game table programs available. We use one called Virtual Dave, which has given us a lot of fun. I want to get into Roll20.net, which is browser-based, so we'll have fewer instances of a certain bug. But yeah, it just allows us to all look at the same thing at the same time, move our little mans around and fight monsters and look at HP bars we make ourselves. And it's a real visual reference, which is necessary because we're playing a game with pretty robust tactical grid combat. So it's not something you can really do in your mind's eye very well. When you say shift 3 squares, like, show me, which square? So yeah, that's a real handy tool we've got.
So you play. So I don't understand D&D too much. I've never played it myself.
Okay.
So my understanding is that it doesn't sound like this is what you're describing, but I've always understood it as some guys sitting on a table. There's no board where you like move pieces, kind of like you're describing, but it's more like a narrative that someone gives you, and you have character sheets and so on.
Story gaming, swine. No, that's I'm really into that sort of scene. That started. Like, the game isn't always as well developed as it is now. I mean, it started in the 70s. So, yeah, there's a lot of... If you look back at the old rule books, there's stuff about how there's no map. It is one player's job to draw the map. Just imagining from what, like, the dungeon master is telling you, like, 20 feet right. You gotta be, like, get your graph paper out. And that's just really asshole...
Time-consuming?
It's time-consuming. It's not collaborative. It's what's the opposite of that? It's the opposite of collaborative. It's
uncollaborative.
It's antagonistic. That's what it is. And that's not like. And let me start with how we got into our game, and then you can see where I'm coming from.
Okay.
You and I are both in the freelance astronaut Skype chat, right?
Yes.
That's where we have a lot of contact with one another.
It's a very exclusive Illuminati type show for those of you
remember
listening.
a few years ago when people used to actually, chat in it on a regular basis?
The Freelance Astronauts chat is like the champagne room of Skype chats.
In that nobody's there from 9 to 5.
Yes.
But, yeah, Wolfshirt, one of a Let's Play superstar of yesteryear and another member of my gaming group, really enjoyed the Penny Arcade D&D podcast and was like, hey, this looks like fun, let's get in on this. So a bunch of other people that were in the chat, including myself, Plasma Man, Lava Lamp Goddess, Drackle eventually, like, said, oh yeah, that's cool. And so we looked for an experienced DM, and we picked up Medibot as a player that way, and Surg as a DM, and we just started playing. And so for the past few years, I've really, like, thrown myself into this scene because I enjoyed it. It's like my new favorite hobby. So, yeah, we've all turned into different sorts of players. Like, Wolfshirt is really happy just looking through the rules and making ridiculous combinations of powers that were not intended at all. He's got this weird necromancer cheesy bullshit that was clearly not intended, but it's awesome.
This sounds like the kind of person who does rock, paper, scissors and then yells something like, rocket launcher! Is it like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
But then he, like, finds a manual for rocket launcher and, like, shows it to you, and I clearly win. Like, this is in the rules.
I did my research!
And Plaz has got this thing, he just loves inventing characters so he can, like, draw their art and write their stories, and he's got, like, a new character every day. And I'm...
Every day?
Practically. Like,
Wow.
He started the trend of getting us all to think about our current characters' children in order to have an excuse to make up more characters. And I am total story gaming swine. I really want to run Fate. I want to run Gumshoe. I donate to indie game Kickstarters. I cannot help myself. If it has a D20, I'm wary of it. I need, like, coin flips and just weird shit. Give me the weird shit. And
is that what that 13th Age thing that you're playing right now provides?
Close. That is sort of a fusion. It's like a D20 game. It's clearly inspired by D&D through the years. It has everything they could take from it that's not going to get them in trouble with lawyers. And fuses it with a lot of story game inspired elements. Some, like, stuff that's sort of like Fate. Some stuff that's sort of like Greg Stoltz games. And I really love it for that. Like, it's my go into dungeons, kill monsters, and take their stuff game of choice. Even though it's not finished yet, so...
it's in beta?
It is in beta. I was a playtester. It was great. It was a lot of fun. They keep sending us, as playtesters and as a pre-orderer, with, hey, everybody at home, you can go to pellegrinapress.com and look up the 13th Age pre-order, and they will just send you PDFs of every revision they make. And each one is getting better and more interesting with more options, and I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, so how would you recommend, then, that, say, there's a few people who listen to this...
Hi, guys.
Probably don't know much about D&D.
Okay.
I've never played it myself. I've gotten into the one game I can think of off the top of my head that's kind of similar to that. That's, I mean, it's more of a board game, but it's called Hero Quest. You ever heard of that?
Hero Quest is cool. Yes.
Yes, it is very cool. I played that quite a lot growing up. It's got a papery element to it. You fill out your stat sheets and stuff, I believe, but it's much more constricted than I would say a more open kind of D&D type scenarios.
Right.
So you have, like, your 4 classes, kind of Diablo-esque. You have your barbarian, dwarf, elf, and maybe wizard, I want to say. And it's more combat focused than kind of how I picture D&D is more of a story, kind of creating your own world in an improv kind of capacity. I mean, this is much more constricted. You're, like, exploring a dungeon. You're looking for traps. Kind of like one, RPG before kind of video game RPGs.
Right.
I would say baby's first entry into that, maybe. So for someone who was kind of heard about D&D, wants to get into a little bit, how would you recommend they kind of... What's a good newbie sort of way to be involved?
One great thing you can do is just listen to actual plays. You can listen to ours. Hey, guys, check out...
Yeah, plug away.
We're on the forums as... it's not called I Bitch as a Minor Action. I really wanted that to be our title, but then something changed. So we wanted to be nice and friendly. But it's the only thread I started in LP. It's
golden.
It is. So just sort by rating. We'll be up there.
Sort by what's good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Feats Don't Fail Me Now. That's what it's called. You can also look up our MP3 podcast. It's indexed on iTunes. Also, bliptv.com/surg has a bunch of stuff. We're even We've even got Threadmir's on Zorak, Something Awful, anime and games moderator's own web space. He's a fan. So
It's very good to know people who have their own web space. That's what I've discovered in hopelessly trying to find a place to host this podcast.
Nice. So yeah, there's that. There's always, for those of you who check that out, you're probably forums members. Check out the Trad Games forum. They're really nice guys. I mean, they're full of their own in-jokes, like every online community, but they're really nice. They're really helpful. They're interested in expanding the hobby. That's like their primary focus, having fun and getting more people to have fun. So they're really welcoming dudes and ladies and others. Also, yeah, just look for Role-Playing Public Radio, another good source for actual plays. But also, do your research. Think of the experience you want to have, and then find a game that it delivers on that. If you want to... If you're really into like the Rocketeer and cool pulp stuff like that, and you want to fight an intelligent ape who's trying to conquer the world with dinosaurs, you do not want to play Dungeons and Dragons, even though it's a pretty great game. You want to play Spirit of the Century from Evil Hat, and it's a fate-based game, and it's awesome. If you want to, go into dungeons, kill things, and take their stuff, hell yes, you want to play D&D. Or 13th Age, or
Hero Quest.
Yeah. But yeah, if you want to play Supers, there's a really great licensed game from Marvel, so you can just play in the Marvel universe, and that's another story-ish game. It's based on an engine that's used for a lot of like television show games, like Leverage, the Heist show, and also Buffy. So it's all on, you can have very different abilities, and even people with very superior abilities, like, say, Buffy, but it's balanced with giving less powerful characters more narrative control. So that's a really interesting way to handle it.
Buffy's got a lot of buffs.
Buffy's got the buffs, but the others have, like, plot points they can spend and be like, oh, by the way, I brought my forklift. Didn't mention it until now, but I'm just going to stab you with a forklift. How about that?
What is this technological sorcery? So that was General Ironicus with How to Train Your Dungeons and Dragons.
Also, I mentioned this before, it's too late now, but there's a Kickstarter game that I've been trying to promote, called The Last Stand. I'm so excited for this game. It's basically Shadow of the Colossus meets Earth Defense Force, and also like Japanese kaiju movies and toku TV shows. It's crazy.
It's a mouthful.
It is. There's so much stuff in this, and it's you play as a dude who is in bug armor because the world's being invaded by giant bugs, as occurs all the time.
So he blends in by wearing bug armor?
Well, he takes the fight...
like the planet was being invaded. It's like, finally, excuse to use my bug armor. I thought this was just a novelty item, finally.
It's more like you tear chunks off the bugs onto yourself, and then you gain the bugs' powers.
Oh, well, duh.
And take the fight back to them. Like you just like tear a stinger off a giant queen bee the size of a house. Now you can sting things extra good.
And take that to your butt?
Well, most people do a Mega Man thing, but if you just want to, moon your enemies, that's your prerogative.
Well, look, I'm not Mega Man. I am but a man.
Theater of the mind and rectum.
And if I want to disguise myself as a bug, I don't see how I'm going to avoid taping or gluing a stinger to my butthole.
Just make sure you have the pointy end out.
Oh, shit.
That's all we ask.
Well, that's another thing on my to-do list after we're done here. Take stinger out of butthole. Okay.
You should probably get some epinephrine for that.
Yeah. I use insulin for pretty much everything. Everything.
Insulin is basically that thing the medic's gun shoots in TF2.
That's right, yeah. Or like a medic in StarCraft when she waves her hand at somebody, she's glowing hand insulin. That's all it is.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. So you have time for this LP stuff.
I do.
Your retsupurae stuff, and
vaguely.
All within that, you've been engaged for the past decade or so, right?
Yeah. About since I was age 7, I've been engaged.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's only been 2.5 years.
Is that average, or is that considered? That seems a bit above average
Yeah,
for
yeah.
engagement time. Yeah.
It's pretty long, but it's pretty fun. You should try it sometime. Just get engaged and hang out forever.
Oh, hey, it's what do you call your fiance in internet land?
Snugglebug.
Snugglebug. Hey. Do you have this problem where like the word fiance just kind of carries this snobbish connotation to me?
Because
So
it's French, you cannot help but sound like
yeah, that's the thing. Like you
the
can say that.
snobbiest asshole. The person to whom I am engaged.
Yeah, well,
that's a
just
whole
kind of
lot better.
long-winded.
Yeah, all
That's-
right.
Yeah. But I mean, you could say like the dirtiest, filthiest thing. But if you're doing it with her,
Your
then it sounds
fiancé.
completely elegant and very bourgeois. Like, we were doing some pig wrestling. Me and my fiancé were wrestling down that sow, and we squeezed him quite good. We got very dirty. Me and my fiancé.
Well, I was grinding this sausage here. It wasn't your Italian sausage. It was more of that chorizo sausage. And I got my arm stuck in the grinder, and I pulled it out, and, well, then my fiancé. That's an average day in the life of a Chicagoan.
I like how we both went with our kind of respective regional accents.
Yeah.
We go with what we know. That's how it works.
Dicka.
So is she into gaming at all?
She loves Tetris. That's about the extent. And Angry Birds. We did about half of Epic Yarn co-op. Got to get back to that sometime.
I like Kirby.
Straight.
Just throwing that out there. Epic Yarn and Kirby. Come on, Ironicus, let's suck things.
That's how I picture every night in your house.
It's just because like what Prince Fluff and Kirby kiss that it's not a role play thing.
That's not.
I promise.
How
I
is,
swear. Don't judge me.
How is Epic Yarn?
It's great.
I wasn't too excited about that game, so I skipped it.
Well, as the difficult games guy, it's really not up your alley. It's got that Nintendo thing where
you regress into the womb as you're playing because it's meant for babies.
I was going to say it's choose your own difficulty, but okay.
Yeah.
In that, like, actually getting the medals is incredibly difficult in like the last two worlds. Like, on the way there, it's just like a really well-designed, chill, like digital slice of joy. But then it just goes balls hard for like those last two worlds if you're trying to get your goals. And so basically your average Kirby difficulty curve, or you can just complete the levels and you literally cannot die.
So the medals are all optional? They're
Yeah.
just like collector shit?
Yeah.
Oh. See, Nintendo appeals to the hardcore gamers, even with baby games.
Yeah, it's like the same as what the big coins in New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're just trying to beat the game, you beat the game. If you're trying to get all the coins, you will kill yourself.
Some of those were really bullshit. Did not like those. Oh, Return to Dreamland. What about that?
I want that. I've not played it. I gotta get some of that.
Well,
shit.
maybe your fiance's not letting you tie the knot because you haven't gotten it for her yet, bro. Yeah?
Maybe it'll be a wedding gift. Maybe it'll.
If I may quote from a few minutes ago,
I love Kirby.
You know, I can't tell you two apart, honestly.
Every time I imitate a female, that's for some reason it's Ridley. I don't really quite understand how that works. She is a winged dragon, pterodactyl creature, right?
When did Ridley become a Jewish grandmother?
Well,
Wait, no. We're gonna go old school. That's Fair's mom. That's not Ridley. Wait a minute.
oh yeah. Are you fucking Fair's mom?
Somebody has to. You're sleeping on the job.
Somebody's gotta do it. I'm getting impatient. Play Epic Yarn with
So,
That's not right at all.
and get off on that shit.
this podcast is going in a very strange place.
It's going in Fair's mom. That's the strangest place of all.
I should get Fair on the podcast sometime.
Yeah.
Well, except his problem, he can't record audio for shit. Like there were these videos I did with him on a whim.
Is that what the problem with
I think
those were? I thought it was literally
Yeah.
everything else.
Well, that was part of it too. I don't remember the circumstances leading up to this at all because it was like 3 years ago. But I was having a drinky kind of night, and so was he, and so I was like, let's make the retsupurae. And so we did, but when I had to do my own editing in post, and his audio was just this garbled mess. And he was like, I showed it to him, he was like, wow, I sound terrible, I'm going to get a better mic. And he did, and we actually tried recording some other videos after that, and his audio was just as bad.
That's
God,
great.
you Boston assholes. This is more proof that Boston's full of assholes.
That's not true. Their fictional people are great. Goodwill Hunting. Eh?
Yeah, the town. Well, the town they were kind of assholes.
Footloose? Have you seen Footloose? Let me tell you about Footloose.
Okay.
Footloose is amazing. You need to see Footloose.
It's a very easy movie to play 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon with. Yeah.
Like you should go out. Go right now. Everyone listening at home, go right now and find yourself the 2011 Footloose.
Oh, wait, you're a proponent of
I
the
am
remake?
a huge proponent of the remake of Footloose. I saw it just a few days ago. It is great.
Oh. Now, I heard this was like a shot-for-shot remake, pretty much.
It's
that-
not. It's
Really?
There's a lot of visual references. Like the most famous shots are all recreated, and I love that. It's because, and I think if you want to get the most out of Footloose 2011, you need to look at it as a conversation between generations, including generations of Footloose films. Like, the first thing that happens is they actually play the song from the 80s movie, but it's like, it's actually in universe. Like, they're at a dance, and this is the dance where, people get killed, and that, makes everything happen. It's because of the song Footloose. And now when they do, like, the Let's Hear It for the Boy song, because they got to teach new Willard to dance, it's not just, like, playing out of nowhere, like, movie music. It's on people's iPods, it's on the radio, that sort of thing. So it's got a lot of interesting things to say about remakes in general. And it's also a really good movie, even outside of that.
So who is the movie made for? Is it like people who grew up, they watched Footloose, is it like, hey, re-experience this pop culture phenomenon you went through, or is it for kind of the up-and-coming generation, and it's like, hey, we want you to see this old thing that was a thing, that was cool,
Well, like I say,
and is like a way to connect Generation X, Generation Y?
with those references, I think people familiar with the original Footloose will probably get the most out of it, but you can totally this can be your first Footloose film, all right? It's not like jumping into, like, Friday the 13th 4. You can just go right there.
I did not see the first Friday the 13th until probably within the past year.
I've never seen it. I don't really care about
weird.
slasher movies.
It wasn't very good.
Really? Because
No.
I assume
this is like 2011 or 12 me seeing something that was made that long ago.
they're
so,
just not my thing.
Now, Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I'm interested.
You see that. I highly recommend you see that. I'm a big fan of anything that takes a genre and puts some kind of clever or different spin on it.
Right.
And so I've seen that twice with slashery movies. The first was Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Still gotta see that, too.
Do you have instant or streaming Netflix?
Not right now, no.
God damn it, Ironicus.
I
Well, you
just
gotta get
got
on
Steam within the last, month, alright? Dude? I just crawled out of a time capsule to get here.
I'm recording this on my 18-inch TV. It's black and white. But yeah, you need to see Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's another thing that takes a genre and does something different with it. Like, it takes that genre and creates it as more of kind of like almost a sitcom level misunderstanding between who you perceive as the slashers and who the troubled teenagers are.
I am aware of the concept, and that's why I'm interested in it. I just haven't gotten around to it. I will.
It stars Alan Tudyk of Firefly fame.
With all of these listeners as my witness, I will watch Tucker Dale versus Evil. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Do that, then see Cabin in the Woods. Maybe not too close to each other, because they're different movies, but they're kind of the same concept of taking genre and spinning it in some way. Cabin in the Woods does it in a very surprising way.
So I should watch something really boring and like traditional and bad in between. So I should watch Like Crazy starring Anton Yelchin.
Find a really bad Let's Play of Footloose.
Is there a Footloose game?
I don't know. Well, if there were 2 movies of it, there's got to be a video game somewhere in there, right? Or maybe like even a Flash game. Because Flash games can be made about literally anything.
I don't think there are. I'm sad. There's a Footloose board game on Board Game Geek.
A board game?
I'm clicking this link.
That's the prequel to 13th Age, actually. Yeah.
In the 11th Age, there was Footloose. Oh, it's not related...
My lord, they have banned dancing from the lands. We must go into the depths of the caves and find the dance map. Instruction treasure. See, I can be a DM
You can
easily,
totally
right?
do it.
I got it.
Being a DM
Sign
is
me
great.
up.
My first time doing it was... my first time running a game that had more than 1 page of rules, I should say, is what was the 13th Age playtest, and it was such a great time. And that game is so easy to run. The encounter balancing. This is not going to be good for the people just getting into games listening to this, but trust me, encounter balancing is a very important thing to do.
Duh.
And it's quite simple in 13th Age, but...
Well, you sold me.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Footloose again? Are we going to talk about anything but Footloose? It's like you can't get off this topic.
Flash games.
What's wrong with you? It's just a movie.
Well, to be fair, this is a Footloose-themed podcast. The previous 2 episodes have been all about Footloose as well.
And
Establishing the Footloose canon.
are you more like new preacher or like John Lithgow? Like where do you fall?
This is a hard
Because
question because I've never actually seen Footloose, and this is a very hard confession considering I've made a Footloose-themed podcast.
You're a hag.
Just made me see the flaw in my design.
Get out of here. You don't belong.
Oh, shit.
I'm a big fake.
You get out of here too.
Really? Have you seen Footloose?
I just want to dance.
So, anyway. Back to Retsupurae.
Yeah, that's fun. Hey, while we were recording this, one of ours just went up.
Oh.
This is why it's a good thing you're guesting with me and not Chip.
You're just using this to plug your own Retsupurae.
It's about Mega Man. It's really bad. Neither of those should be surprising.
So, here's something. So, some people, once you kind of continue doing RP for a little while, and, I've watched a lot of your videos, and a lot of people are being like,
Cheap knockoffs.
So now I can just say, like, Diabetus approved, rubber stamp everything? Can that be our
Yeah.
title card?
Well, I just think it's strange that fan bases of anything, no matter how stupid the concept is, are very protective of it for some reason. Like it's some sort of precious property, intellectual property that has to be pure.
You've got to find your own things to make fun of. We actually got that a lot. People literally saying, why don't you just go find your own thing to make fun of? Because, video games is such a small portion of entertainment media.
We've claimed that niche market, my friend.
Now, if it was only, more profitable than box office sales, that's one thing. But
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of Footloose movie reviews that are filmed by people shoving cameras into faces that you can make fun of. That's an untapped market, my friend. But, I would say your stuff is very unique compared to ours, and you
Really?
guys have your own voice, your own point of view. I would say Chip is somebody who, as far as I've seen, plays, or very much into the whole video game
plays
world much more than... he
everything.
plays a lot of games. Like, he's more knowledgeable about games in general compared to, Slow Beef, who I don't know if he plays iPhone games for a living, and then me, who I take, years just to finish one game. I'm extremely slow, but Chip just, binges through them like
it's crazy.
madman.
He's, working through a backlog of, 80 games. Simultaneously.
Does he have a job?
I think it's actually just doing Let's Play.
Oh, no.
He quit his his job to play more video games. He's living the dream.
Good man, good man. But he still lives in Flint, doesn't he?
Yeah, just north.
That's
He's
kind
outside city limits. He's moving up in the world.
Literally.
Yeah, he climbed a mountain to get away from Flint. Actually,
absolutely.
that's the great thing about Chicago. The reason we build our buildings so tall is that above like 300 feet, you're no longer technically in Illinois. We're just trying to escape.
Sears Tower is tallest building in the country, right?
Willis Tower, tallest in the continent.
Oh, the continent.
At one time, tallest in the world, but then, China had to be like, well, fuck building regulations. We're going to make them bigger.
Good man.
Good China man, yeah.
I'm giving you all the credit for that for some
The
reason.
nation of China is one man, and the state of Texas is one city.
So how long do you think this whole retsupurae thing is going to keep going?
For, like, the people doing it now, or, like, the entire institution, if you can call it that?
Are we in a bubble right now? Is it just going to burst?
As long as new people start, I think it's going to keep going for quite a while, but...
And YouTube seemed to
You just...
have endorsed the whole Let's Play concept as far as I can see.
You just see the same things over and over. Like, we're trying to, part of Chip playing a million video games at once is that he comes up with a lot of side projects that don't always pan out. So he was trying to make a compilation of the worst camcorder angles, and he had about 20, and each one was worse than the last.
20?
But there's
20?
no way to do 20 videos, so he was going to like download them all and splice them together into one super video, and so we could finally put the camcorder thing to rest.
Oh wait, he didn't like himself experiment with camcorder, but he found 20 different Let's Plays on YouTube
that were all just increasingly horrible, like only seeing a fraction of the screen and like framed on some guy's Legend of Zelda poster in the other room instead of on the actual television. Just horrible, horrible things. But now most of them have been taken down, so... But...
Out of embarrassment, or...?
I can only hope. But the point is, like, okay, you make those jokes once. That is one video. Now what? You need to keep having, like, a new perspective. So that's why I hope for new people who are actually funny to like, join in. And...
Yeah. That's part of the trouble we've had, and one reason we've steered away from the whole Let's Play thing lately. And that's something I've noticed a lot of people have kind of complained about. Like, what happened to the Let's Plays, man?
They all got the same!
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. Like, you can only make so many jokes about, something like you said that's camcorded at a weird angle, or where a guy has an annoying voice for 10 to 20 minutes. Like, it just gets tiring after a while, but that's the luxury of things like Flash games, or entire games even, is that it just keeps surprising you with new shit, like Darkseid especially. Like, there's all kinds of different levels of surprise and patheticness that were just so easy to build off of, and were much more fun to watch than, we have a scan lines on a screen for 10 minutes, and that you just get kind of fatigued with.
When you start out making fun of Let's Plays, you think, there are 1,000 things you can do wrong, and that sounds really exciting, and then you make 1,000 videos, and you're done.
Yep.
It's out. It's over. And that's why, like, you've been doing long plays, and we both did Flash stuff, and we've been doing, like, the animes, and that's been great.
Actually,
a lot of
that's
fun
the thing I wanted to ask you about. How did that whole anime concept come up?
It started, like, it was intended to be alongside the Let's Play we're doing now, No More Heroes 2. And it started as an idea of mine, like, what if we made fun of the terrible stuff that would be on Travis's DVD shelf? That was my idea. But then we thought, well, no, we'd run into the same problem because Travis seems to have pretty narrow taste, so it would just be the same thing over and over again. So we'd first divide to, like, any sort of bad anime that's bad in a unique way, and drop, like, the Travis's bookshelf title. It's just bad anime theater. And we got Zorak again, name-dropping the guy twice, to, like, give us some recs, because I don't watch bad anime. I've watched one anime in my life.
What better person to ask than the anime
Exactly.
mom?
And so it's worked out really well. We've recorded almost everything he sent us. Still got to do something with Frankenstein and male cheerleaders.
A Frankenstein anime?
Yes. We did a Dracula anime, and I think this Frankenstein anime is in the same continuity?
Are you going to title the video Dracula anime?
We might have. Dracula was quite a while ago. That was early.
So you have this huge backlog of RPs then.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's been uploaded for, like, ever.
Oh, it's been up.
It was in 3 parts. It was ridiculous. They basically took 8 plots and squished them together into 90 minutes. It's bizarre. And Dracula eats a hamburger, so if you're into that.
That's a personal hobby of mine. Is watching vampires eat hamburgers.
Also, he is the most interesting thing about Dracula is he's very indecisive. At one point, he loses his vampirism, and then he
can't decide if he wants it medium well or well done.
Well, he goes and mugs a man just to buy a hamburger on his way to find another vampire to turn him back into a vampire. And when she's about to bite him to turn him into a vampire, he's like, whoa, I have second thoughts, and he runs away. And then he goes to Transylvania to find another vampire to turn him into a vampire, and then he gets second thoughts again. And then he tries to kill those vampires, but Dracula can't make
Dracula
up his
needs
mind.
other vampires to make him a vampire again, or he's looking to make other people vampires?
He got his vampirism cured, and he's not sure whether he wants it back or not. He keeps changing his mind in the moment over and over again, and it's very frustrating to watch.
He's a were-vampire?
He's a when vampire, and he doesn't know when he wants to be.
He's a plot-convenient vampire.
There's nothing convenient about this plot.
I think I'm going to have to watch that.
You think so? Oh, also his son is Jesus, by the way.
Well, that's kind of a given, honestly.
So yeah, that's how that started. That was one of my favorites. Garzy's Wing is another anime we did that I really liked. And this one, the next one I'm going to mention is unreleased. We did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles anime, 2 episodes. It's ridiculous.
Good.
If you're a toy merchandiser, it's right up your alley.
There never was a Battletoads anime.
There was a cartoon.
I'm gonna make me a Kickstarter.
Oh, okay. I know people are gonna ask. So yeah, the one anime I watched and enjoyed, Tiger and Bunny. Go check it out. It's good.
Recommended from a friend of mine that I haven't watched was Ghost in the Shell.
I hear that a lot, but it's like...
That's like entry-level anime, maybe?
Yeah, but I don't really want to enter. Is the thing.
Yeah, you kind of been engrossed in the world, but kind of in a bad way.
I took the back door, and I'm saying that in the biological sense.
Right, yeah.
Oh, it's no good.
It's like putting a stinger up your butthole.
No, that's great if you roll a d10 and drop lowest.
That's right. Well, we've covered a lot of topics on today's podcast. Anything else you wanted to bring up, or plug, or dish on? This is your forum, man.
Let's review our topics. We talked about trad games and D&D in general. That's cool. I'm done with that. PC gaming. I really suck at Team Fortress 2. I'm terrible.
I cannot get. Someone gifted me Team Fortress 2 a while ago, and I just
They
can't.
gifted you a free game? What an ass.
They gifted me a free game. And I just can't get into it. It's just not my thing.
I'm so bad at it, but I'm mildly addicted. I cannot, anytime I see someone in my friends list in-game, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll join that. Hell yes. I'm going. And
I'm going to take a look at my my list.
I embarrass myself
games.
horribly, but I can't stop.
So I'm assuming you've played Bastion.
I do. I've played, I think, half of Bastion. I just got to the first who knows where. I haven't touched it since. I've been busy with other games. Including Portal 2. Just beat that last night. Looking for a co-op buddy.
Mm-hmm. I have Portal 2 on PS3.
You can't do that, can you? You can't cross.
I want to say you can in some weird way. I know you can't with the 360 version, but supposedly with PS3 and Steam, there's some kind of cross compatibility. So we might be able to. We'll have to look into that.
I'll probably just get Chip to do it with me and have him promise not to give me the solutions because he's done it before. Playing video games when they're relevant. That's not. I wait for him to age like a good brandy.
Well, that's you've got the whole Steam mission statement down pretty much. That's what you're supposed to do. Most of the games I have in my library where I got for either $5 or for free.
Right.
Binding of Isaac, you should get that.
No.
I talked about that on the last
podcast. I don't really do roguelikes. I got Dungeons of Dreadmore. I'm interested in that in Isaac because from what I've seen, it's a little more skill-based. You're actually master of your own fate. You get to shoot things.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Dreadmore, I just find impenetrable. I don't get it. I find it funny, but I cannot find it fun because it will not allow me to.
Never played Dreadmore. Are you into first-person shooters at all?
Not generally.
Yeah, Portal's doesn't really count.
I find it. It's not that I don't enjoy the gameplay. I just find a lot of them creatively bankrupt. They're just really samey to me from the outside looking in.
I would recommend Bulletstorm.
That's why I really enjoy TF2, even though I suck at it. I mean, I just started playing last week, so I've got an excuse. But it's got so much personality, that's why I've got that addiction to it.
That's exactly why Bulletstorm is fun.
Yeah.
It has a lot of personality as well. It's not like generic FPS number 47, but there's,
Cool.
you're encouraged to kill people in different ways. You get points for doing that, like you kick people into spiky things or blow their legs off, blow their arms off, those kinds of things. You get different weapons to do stuff with. It's
Hey,
fun.
it's only $20. What do you know?
And actually, if the summer Steam sale, whenever that starts, I got it for $5. Yeah, Bulletstorm, you can get that for $5 during probably some future sale.
Great. I'm just going to add this to my wish list.
Absolutely.
Any of you folks out there, wink, wink. No, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not going to be that guy. I hate that guy. I'm not telling you my Steam ID, so even if you want to take me up on it, you'll have to guess.
I bet it's really hard to figure out.
Yeah.
You hack! Magic the Gathering. We never talked about that. Kind of circles the D&D kind of...
I'm not really into it.
Not really, but...
I'm...
Are you not into it?
I've not, I did it at, summer camp years ago, and, it's one of those games where,
Summer Camp?
I was a Boy Scout. I was an Eagle
Is this
Scout.
like the Dark World version of Summer Camp?
No, I was a good little camper. I'm awesome at camping. I can just sit in the woods and do nothing for hours, alright?
You've tapped all of your lands. You've earned your Eagle Scout badge, son.
No, really, Simpsons trivia and Magic the Gathering are apparently the foundations of the Boy Scouts of America. This is what I learned when I was a child. I don't know what it's like now. I mean, Simpsons a lot less relevant. Magic the Gathering just as relevant, I think.
It still seems pretty relevant. They're releasing their Duels of the Planeswalkers game pretty much every year for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And they do sales on it every now and then, so if you're into it at all, it's worth a pickup. And of course, if you're a fan of casual gaming, which I'm guessing you are, Peggle.
Peggle is so on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate paying for games.
That's fair. I'm exactly the same way.
It's not that, recently, when I got this job, I just started, hey, I have money now, I should spend it. And then I realized, no, I should not do that so much. I'm doing badly.
Well, are you doing the traditional marriage thing where your fiance's paying for everything? Or your fiance's parents, I should say, are paying for everything?
No, because then I'd first feel like an asshole, and then I'd feel like they get creative control, and I don't want that.
You don't want them to assume direct control over your marriage.
Well,
That would be bad.
No, that would be bad. I'm also worried about anyone but, the two of us getting control of, the wedding playlist. That's very important.
And the wedding playlist is all of your D&D podcasts.
There will be absolutely no chicken dance. None. Hear that? No chicken dance.
No. How about the Kirby soundtrack?
Kirby soundtrack is fine, as long as it's the Epic Yarn versions.
It's not.
No?
We're not having
This marriage is falling apart!
at our wedding.
Alright, I just want to thank everyone at home for being here for the dissolution of my engagement. I'm glad you could all share this experience.
You are witnessing podcast history as a marriage is breaking up before your very ears.
Before it even starts.
We can have
Before it
Footloose.
even starts, for that matter.
Alright, compromise reached. We can have Footloose.
Well, okay, there's that. But what if fiance's parents outlaw dancing at the wedding, and then you have to recreate the plot of Footloose to be able to do it at your wedding?
Well, then we'll invite a film crew and make a sequel or a second remake, both at the same time.
A trilogy.
It'll be like Prometheus, where it's both a remake of 2001 and a prequel to Alien. It's not.
And it's going to be not very good?
It's not actually a prequel to Alien. The whole point of the movie is if you came looking for Alien Zero, you did it wrong, and that's why I think it's great for that alone, and for a few other reasons.
Well, the other games I would recommend to you on my games list on Steam are Trine and Trine 2.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get you to play these excellent games.
What are they like? What do they do? I've heard the names. I don't really. I'm not.
So Trine, they're both 2D side-scroll, or 2D games where you control a wizard, a thief, and a knight.
Oh, that's right
and
up
you
my
have
alley.
to use their
Hey.
yeah, exactly. You have to use their different abilities to solve puzzles and make your way through the level, and it's a very pretty game.
That's cool.
Very, very short. You can beat both games in a few
So wait,
hours.
when you say, is it more like that Three Vikings game then?
The Lost Vikings?
Yeah, Lost Vikings.
No, it's not like that because you don't control, or all three are not on the screen at the same time. You kind of teleport them in and out, so you control one person at a time, or one person is on the screen at a time.
Oh, okay.
And so you come across an obstacle, maybe you have to, hook shot to the other side, or create a magic box, or slice some shit. That's up to you to figure out, Ironicus. You are in control of your fate.
Awesome.
And that covers... I don't game as
Okay.
much as I should. That's all the games I have.
Cool.
Look, well, there's also those free-to-play games, which I haven't gotten into too much, but those are a thing.
Those aren't they like mostly Korean MMOs and junk? Like, wow.
More or less. Like, my understanding is that they have kind of a Farmville philosophy, where they entice you into the
Right.
gameplay, but to make much progress, you either have to grind endlessly or pay money to skip that phase. I may be wrong. I don't know much about them.
Okay. Let me see if I got this right. My wish list is Peggle Deluxe, Bit
Right.
Trip Runner, Recetier, An Item Shop's Tale,
Oh, I have that on my wish list.
Beyond
as well.
Good and Evil, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, the first Portal, because I'm doing them out of order,
Oh, that's fucked up.
Binding of Isaac, Trine,
Mhm.
Duel of the Planeswalkers 2013, and Bulletstorm. I'm set to go. I should be watching
If
these
you
during the
like-
Steam sale.
If you like co-op games, you might want to think about Dungeon Defenders.
Oh, I was on a stream with the Freelance Astronauts with that. I remember that game. It looked
they were
incredibly colorful.
It's very colorful. It's pretty fun, but only if you have friends.
Oh, well, I'm
Period.
out. Screw it.
Yeah, so, yeah. Tell your fiance it's Kirby, she'll pay for it.
One of these days. Why is Kirby shooting everyone? What are these aliens? Trust me, it's a new direction for the series.
Kirby's building fire towers. What? Wait, wrong voice.
Why is Kirby building missile towers? Why is he murdering people?
I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't like it one bit.
Hey, that's the first time I've heard you do a Ridley. That's pretty good.
No, that wasn't Ridley at all. That's the other one.
Oh.
If you want to hear that voice more, look up my D&D video titled Impressions Part 2.
Another plug?
Oh yeah, I use it for my dwarven rabbi's mother.
Very good. Dead Space 2, I would recommend that. Not what I would call an entry-level shooter type thing, but it's really, really good.
I just made a retsupurae about Dead Space 2.
Oh, yeah, I think, yeah.
Gotta love that scare cam.
Scare cam.
The scare cam is... Can we talk about scare cam for a while?
Let's talk about scare
It's
cams
the
for a second.
worst. It's the
Like,
worst.
what value are you adding to your video by putting you doing shock faces every now and then?
None.
Like,
None at all.
and that's the worst, that some people actually like that. This is the lowest common denominator of people that exist who watch the videos for the scare cam
It'd
specifically.
be one thing if it was genuine. It'd just be a bad idea if it was genuine. But no, they're playing up for the camera. They're doing a caricature of their own reactions. They're making themselves look like complete idiot pansies just for entertainment, and that's what makes it insufferable.
And people eat it up,
Oh,
which makes it even more insufferable.
they do.
Like the one, is the one you riffed on, was it like a popular one, or is it just some random one you found?
It's just a huge wave. I can't even remember anymore. It's a thing. It's everywhere.
It is a
any
thing.
game where like the lighting is low, scare cam.
Mm-hmm.
I would not
Yeah.
be surprised if there's a Dungeons & Dreadmore scare cam let's play on YouTube.
Or a Dungeons and Dragons scare cam video.
There's 3 kobolds. I can hear them. My DM tells me I can hear them.
There are traps in the room.
It's a DC 15 thievery check.
I rolled under a 5.
Oh, I gotta use my skill focus.
I gotta reroll my character.
So yeah, if you want to get in cool with the Dungeons and Dragons crew, post in grognards.txt. It's probably the best mock thread on the forums. It's pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
It's where we make fun of people. It's really impenetrable, actually,
Yeah.
if you're new to the scene. But it's just people making fun of people who have really bad opinions and ideas about role-playing games, and it's hilarious. And it's got some great derails about like game design, games you should be checking out. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Well, sweet. Well, my friend, we are at a little over an hour.
I think that's good.
Yeah, how do you feel? You feel
I
good?
feel like this is solid gold, every last minute of it.
Mm-hmm. Too bad I'm gonna delete
The
all.
minutes with Footloose are platinum. Double platinum.
I'm gonna highlight those minutes and amplify all of the audio by about 10
We're going to
times.
release this to, like, radio stations, and it will literally go platinum.
Mm-hmm. Literally. Because you can do that on radio stations.
Yes. The radio stations will buy enough copies.
That's right. We'll have to talk about that afterwards.
Yeah, I better get at least 10%.
So, any other plugs? You're on the Tweeter, are you not?
I am GEN_Ironicus, because just the word is taken, and I like to use that. Just Ironicus. I try to use that for everything, but it's taken in some places, and I hate that.
I have that. I encountered that problem quite a bit myself.
Screw you, name squatter who doesn't even tweet.
I know. I had the same problem. Someone took @Diabetus, and they hadn't tweeted since I think like 2008 or 9. So yeah, it's at @the_beatus with one E, not twos, not two.
Actually, the person squatting on my name is French. Has
Oh.
tweeted twice in history.
I bet he has a fiancée. I would tweet more, but my fiancée is asking for me to say what's my time. 140 characters, you say? How many times can I type fiancé in 140 characters?
Depends on if you use spaces or not.
That's true, yeah. We'll check back in on that.
So, hey, I hope everybody listening enjoyed this, and tune in next week when Slow Beef will be back, and it'll be good.
Yeah, exactly. Looking forward to getting this back to when it's high quality. I've been pining for those days for the past hour or so.
You jerk.
Leave your feedback, tell us what you like, what you don't like, and we'll ignore it.
As you should. Night, everybody.
Yeah.